Right, well here I am again, camera on tripod, hands are free, it's time to look at a locomotive. By the way, if you can hear like this tip-tapping sound, that's the rain. Because if we just pan the camera over and up to the window, you can see that outside we've got typical spring weather, which basically just means that it's raining. So we can't play outside. But what we can do is look at new locomotives and trains, so that's pretty good. So I've just panned the camera around again. This time we've got a modern locomotive. It's a diesel and it's a class 20 by Hornby, as you can see. It's DCC ready, which is quite nice. It certainly makes fitting a chip a lot easier. As you can see there, it's BR blue, and it's numbers 35 actually. This particular locomotive is number 35. So let's get the box open, as there's not much to see, is there, really? And have a look inside. I think this video is going to be quite short compared to some of my monster marathons anyway. Right, okay, so here we go. Typical instructions. Class 20 this time. It's going to be the usual stuff, yeah. How to maintain it, where to put the bits of oil, how to take the body off, how to fit the chip. That's basically all you need to know. Which is good, because that's all they tell you. Right. Oh, here we go. Another DCC jacket that they recommend you put around the chip. But the instructions that come with the chip do warn that the chip can overheat. So, right, let's get the locomotive out, shall we? Just take out the little bits of polystyrene. One hole in the back, push the finger in. It's not the nice fancy packaging that we're getting used to now, but I suppose it'll do. Oh, look, here's that. Oh, yeah, the cat's been at this, obviously. Yeah. Okay, here's the locomotive. Wow, the first thing you notice is it's heavy. For such a modest-sized loco, it's actually really heavy. Right, so, where do we start? Let's just get all this rubbish out of the way. Okay, rubbish out of the way, back to the locomotive. Where do we start? Well, let's get right in close and let you have a look at it. As you can see, it's the BR blue, it's the small logo, and it's really nice. There's not much to say on it, admittedly. It's quite simple, quite plain, pretty basic. But, you know, some people go for this. Some people really go for the typical 1970s British Rail blue, which is what this is. Big yellow ends to let all the track workers know it's coming. And it is a nice locomotive. I can't argue with that. It's not bad. It's not bad. It would be nice, obviously, if the grille was actually like a real grille and you had a proper spinning fan under there and stuff. But it's not, so that's a little disappointing. There's a very nice handrail down the side here though. That's quite good. Lots of detail on the side. Various rivets dotted all over the place. Panelling. All these panels on the real locomotive open up to show the engine inside. I think it did come with, I think I may have put them somewhere, I think it did come with little white discs that you can put over these well, disc holders at the front of the locomotive to give it a head code, basically. So you can put like a disc there and a disc there, which would mean that it's a freight, or a disc there and a disc there, which would mean it's carrying like a nuclear load or something. So that's quite good, that's quite groovy. No, the buffers aren't sprung, I'm afraid. They're quite basic. But, you know, they're alright. I suppose you could make them more realistic by painting them and weathering the whole thing, basically. That's always a good way. The doors don't open either, but we have got a nice little window open there, so that's quite good. Now this coupling is a slimline coupling, it's a narrow one, but is it a NEM coupling? Yes, I think it is. Let's just see if we can take it out. Yes, it's a NEM coupling, which is good. It's a bit big, it sticks out quite a bit, which some people might not really like, but it is a NEM coupling. So you can, if you, as you just saw me do there, you can remove it and fit your own, should you so wish. Right, well, we've had a good look at it. It's not bad. It's nothing amazing, but it's definitely not bad. So I think we need to put it on the track and see how it runs. Okay, so here we are at this ever so increasingly famous piece of track. Let's just put the locomotive on. It can go that way, and it can go that way as well. It doesn't really matter. And when they're in pairs, you often have one that way, and then the other one will go that way. So it kind of like, it makes like a gigantic Class 58, I suppose. But we'll put it on this way for now. It's going on to the outer loop, which is typically the DCC loop, but this loop is operating in DC mode today. And how do I do that? Well, by simply unplugging the DCC controller and plugging in the DC controller. It's quite simple. So, let's select direction, and she should move. And away she goes. She moved quite quickly, didn't she, actually? She possibly went a little bit too quick, to be honest. But she's going quite nicely. Let's just watch her go over the level crossing. Oh, I love that sound. I always love it when they go over the level crossing. So, let's just slow her down a little bit. Okay, so we come to the controller here. We can see that she's at about running in speed, which is roughly 12 o'clock. So let's just slow that down a little bit and see how she handles that. Well, as you can see, she's handling that really quite well. Considering she's a DC locomotive and she's brand new, that's pretty smooth. Not bad for 40 something quid, eh? Not bad at all. Let's just get really close in on that and see it go past. Yeah. And if we just speed her up a little bit, how does she cope with going a bit faster? So let's speed it up to about 1 o'clock, something like that. She's coping fine with that as well. Here she comes. Yeah, she's not bad. She's running pretty well, and she's not even being chipped. Nice little logo.